Learning how to homestead doesn't always mean buying chickens or purchasing a cow. Sometimes it means that you need to get back down to your basics and learn how to be more self-sufficient. In today's video, we're going to talk about one homestead basic, which is cooking from scratch. Yes, there are so many different ways that you can be cooking things from scratch today so that you don't have to rely on grocery stores to get some of your bare necessities. And we're going to be cooking up a delicious Italian bread that you can do easily in your home, and it is such a crowd pleaser. I'm Danielle from the Split Arrow Farm, and welcome to our channel. If you've been watching for a while, then you'd know that Chris and I recently bought a plot of land and we're looking to turn it into a homestead. Now, the days are so chilly, so it's vital that we have a lot of homestead basics so that we can start doing those and really flourish in our homestead, and one of those is cooking from scratch. Today, I'm going to show you a really delicious recipe on how to make Italian bread, and it only includes a few key ingredients and a little bit of time and elbow grease. So let's get changed. That was easy. Now let's start to gather up our supplies. To kick things off, we're going to start with the yeast and water solution. So I'm going to be using 1.5 tablespoons of active dry yeast. Now, you don't have to use active dry yeast. You can actually just use inactive yeast. You would then need to just let it proof for about 5 minutes. So what you'll see is you'll add the hot water in, you'll add the yeast in, and once it starts to foam on the top, then you'll know that the yeast is active on the top. Since we are working with active yeast already, we do not have to wait for that time period. So I'm going to go ahead and add 1/2 cup of warm water and then 1.5 tablespoons of the yeast. Once you've added in the yeast and warm water, you're going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of granulated sugar. We use all natural sugar at this house, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in now. All of the directions will be linked down below as well, just in case you want to check those out after. You can definitely check the link out below. Now, really quick, while all of this is kind of just sitting in here and getting going, I want to talk really quick about the heat of the water. So I said to add warm water, and it's really important when working with yeast or any other products when making bread that you don't add in the water too hot. That can affect the yeast from rising, and you just want to make sure that the water isn't boiling. It's probably just warm to the touch, and that's going to just make the yeast a lot better in the process of making bread. Now we're going to put aside this yeast mixture and create another bowl of some of our other ingredients that we will then add this yeast mixture into. So let's grab another bowl. We have our second bowl, so now we're going to go ahead and add 2 cups of hot water this time, 3 tablespoons of sugar, salt, and oil, and then we're going to add in around 3 cups of flour before adding in the yeast mixture that we did previously. When adding the water, you're going to want to make sure that it's hot but not boiling. Then you can start to add in the other ingredients. The flour, you'll only add in 2 to 3 cups to begin with, mix it up, and then we'll add the rest later. Now I gave it a few quick spins, and now I'm going to add the yeast mixture in and just mix everything up. It will still be a nice sticky texture. You can see here that it still has a pretty watery consistency, so we're going to add around 2 to 3 cups of flour, and you're going to want it to be a pretty firm but sticky ball. So you'll kind of want to gauge, depending on your climate or elevation, what exactly it's going to look like in your location. So kind of add a little bit, see how it looks. I do about 1 cup or 1/2 cup. See how it looks, and keep going up by 1/2 cup from there, so you can kind of get a feeling of it. Then once we've mixed that all together, I'm probably gonna have to get my hands a little dirty on this one, and once we've done that, then we're going to put a clean dish towel or tea towel over it and let the mixture sit for about an hour. So let's add in our flour, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Once we've mixed mixed everything together, we're going to put a nice tea towel over the mixture and we're going to let it sit for about an hour. Now you're just going to want to check on the bread throughout to see kind of how it's rising, but it will most likely go over your bowl a bit. So we'll put that over here. But if it is a little bit colder where you are, I know it's winter now for a lot of people, it might take a little bit warmer. So just keep an eye, check on it after about an hour. While that's waiting, I want to quickly talk to you guys about some essentials that you should have in the kitchen so that you can cook from scratch. Now, always having flour, sugar, oil, yeast in the kitchen is going to be really important if you want to make anything up on the whim, and really making sure that you stock your kitchen up and make it look pristine and well organized. I have so many different spices, and you're going to learn that throughout your kitchen journey, throughout your cooking journey, you're just going to add more and more into your artisanal, and it's really going to make cooking a lot easier in your house. Also, keeping track of what you have and what's running out. Now, I love to use fresh herbs within the kitchen, so I like to always have some herbs on hand. I have a rosemary plant in our kitchen that I like to pull up some herbs from. I'm going to be adding that in our bread today, but fresh herbs always add a great splash of flavor and texture into any recipe. And what's even great about them is there is a lot of ways that you can freeze your herbs and you can make it ready so that you can grab them at any time. So if you don't have your own herbs to do that with, they are available at a lot of grocery stores, just fresh and frozen herbs that you can have stored and ready to pull out for any recipe that's just going to make it taste really, really great. Now, while we're on the topic of homesteading, I'd love for you guys to comment down below some basics that you think are really important to your homestead and what stage you're at in your homesteading journey. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing to create your home into a homestead and the different basics that you think are essential, because we're going to be continuing on this series going through a few different things that I find are really important to having a home and just making sure that you live a green life, that you're cooking fresh and organic foods, and that you are more self-sustainable and don't have to always be running to the grocery store. So let's wait a little bit for this bread and we'll come back and follow the next steps. Really quick, you guys, I did want to update you. This scar right here, Mags just did it to me today, so I did not get in a fight, don't worry, but just wanted to let you know that this is a pup scar, so watch out for your little pups when they're playing around, and let's get back to the show. After waiting about an hour, you can remove the tea towel from the bowl and your dough will have risen a significant amount, probably doubling or tripling in size. You're going to remove the dough from the bowl and divide it into 2-3 pieces, depending on how large you'd like the loaves. Today, I'm going to divide it into 2 pieces. I knead it down into a little easier piece to work with, and then I'll grab a rolling pin to roll it out into a nice thin piece of dough. Once you've rolled out your piece to the desired length, then you're going to lengthwise roll up like a jelly roll. You're going to place on a greased cookie pan, sealed side down, and tuck the ends under. You will then slash atop the cross with a knife every couple of inches. Cover and let sit for 30 more minutes. While the loaves are rising, you will preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and before sticking in the oven, you will whisk some egg whites and brush over the tops of the loaves. Bake for 25 to 30 minutes. Real talk, while the bread is baking, I want to sync with you guys on what you're doing within your homesteads already. Have you guys already started your homesteads? Are you picking up some basic skills like this so that you can get up and running once you have your plot of land? Or are you working in a small studio already, just growing plants and kind of figuring things out? Comment down below on what you're doing, and let's head into the kitchen to see how our bread's doing. Fresh bread.
Looks good. It's boiling hot.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and start eating dinner, but I hope you guys liked this video and this recipe. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below, as we do post new content every week on starting our homestead. And we are gonna be releasing a few videos on basics that you should know to start your own homestead. So see you guys next week and have a great day. Bye.